So, something that I have not really been thinking about a lot, but just sometimes think about a certain amount, and you'll see why. Um, or hear why, actually, because you're listening. I guess you will see too, because it's a video. Duh. But, there's a lot to be said for being real with yourself about stuff. And, for instance, being okay. Like everyone's all like the kind of the stereotype of like a guy pretending like everything's fine. I hate that. I can legitimately say I hate that stereotype. Apparently I struggle to say stereotype even though I just said it twice. Um I hate that stereotype. No offense or anything, but I think it's kind of sad that guys always pretend like everything is fine. So I guess some don't, but I feel like most of them do. But anyway, this is I don't know if it's easy for people to listen to or it's just how it is. It's just it's just history for me. But, oh, and guys talking about mental health and stuff or mental illness. I feel like guys have a lot more mental illness than people know about because they don't like talking about it because of whatever, right? Or maybe it's because of the stereotype. But, there's a lot to be said for talking about mental illness. I mean, and mental illness is a what? A illness. Right. So, why not talk about it? Personally, my mental health problems in the past are history for me. It's fine to talk about it. It really is. I completely don't mind at all. I don't want to say I like talking about it because it was a severely dark time. But there is a place to talk about it. People should talk about it. Not just like pretend like nothing happened or say, "Oh, it was okay." It wasn't okay at all, ever. Um Seriously, it was not funny. Um I had my I had multiple seizures, really bad seizures. I have epilepsy. So, anyway, I had multiple seizures from 2019 to 20 maybe the beginning of 2021. Like the kind of seizures where I was like driving down the road and I slipped between oncoming traffic, could have died that day. And thank God I didn't, because I'm here to like tell everybody, tell people about it. You know, I survived. I basically survived a seizure. No, I actually survived five. Um. So anyway, that was one of the hardest times of my life ever. Literally ever. Well, I don't know about ever, but anyway. Seriously, I became severely depressed. Severely depressed. Twice. I loved it. No, of course I didn't love it. I hated it. It was horrible. And I am mostly still here because of a friend of mine who killed herself years ago, because I saw what that did to the kind of her circle of friends and family that knew her. Everybody kind of in the world that knew her. I saw what that did. It destroyed. It really wrecked so many things, right? It really did. It was it was really bad. I guess it was horrible. I was gonna say it was horrible. I suppose it was. Admittedly, I was very young when she killed herself, so I didn't really know like what to think, this and that. But that's the thing. It's like she had some her own difficulties, and it wasn't always talked about. And look where we are. You know? For a person to be real with themselves and just recognize what's going on in their mind is huge. Not or if maybe it's a like physical problem that they have, just be real with it. Don't say you're fine. Do not say that you're fine. Because all that does is like minimize the problem. It makes it as though it's like not important in your mind. Don't say you're fine. Say how you are. Because if you're real with yourself about how you are, then you might actually be able to get the help that you need. Seriously, like, I hate people saying, "Oh, I'm fine." Are you? Are you fine? Are you actually okay? Or are you just pretending? Admittedly, I say I'm fine all the time because it's like sometimes it's socially acceptable to maybe not say what's actually going on, because maybe it's just like you're at the store or at the Wawa or whatever. That's okay. That's fine. But I feel like there should be space for people to actually say what's going on in reality. Sometimes. I mean, or just like being real with yourself and recognizing what's going on in your life and being like, wow, yeah, this sucks a lot. But I'll do the best I can. That is also important. I mean, putting on a poker face kind of sucks. I do it a lot. But also recognizing what is going on in real time, in real life, not just pretending. Pretending kind of sucks because basically you're lying to yourself. And for what? Just so you can survive? Oh, by the way, surviving. So there's a reason why there's two different words, surviving and living. Surviving, just feeling like you're just staying alive because you don't feel like ruining other people's lives, is not living. Living is when like you actually enjoy life and you actually want to be alive. And you know, there's a reason why it's two different words, because they are two very different things. Surviving is when you're not enjoying life. It's when like things kind of suck, but you don't really want to die because you don't want to ruin others' lives, right? Living is when you actually want to be alive and you enjoy existing. unfortunately, I know both of those sides. I know both sides of that coin. It's wonderful. It is some of the hardest things that I had to deal with. But, you know, I'm still here. And I'm making this video because I feel like it's important for people to hear this stuff. Life isn't just about surviving. It's about living. Now, if you're happy with surviving and you're okay with surviving, then maybe that's living to you. But it's like living, the definition of living is not necessarily the same for everyone. And that's okay. That's fine. But living to actually be happy, living to actually enjoy life and want to be alive is one of the best feelings. I know, because I experienced it relatively recently. It was really nice. But, you know, anyway, just being real about what's going on in your mind, and this can go for anybody, is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Just like being like in the moment and being mentally stable. I love that. Because I've been both. I've been mentally unstable and mentally stable. I would not recommend mental illness to anybody. Ever. I'm serious. I mean, not that you can get mentally ill, but like depression, anxiety, horrible of both, right? Never. I mean, not that it's recommendable, but anyway. I understand people not wanting to talk about what's going on in their mind because maybe they don't want to face it. But Bobby has a lot of problems. Not like bad problems, they're just life, right? And I need to be real with myself. Because if I'm not real with myself, I'm lying to myself. Who enjoys lying to themselves about what's going on in their mind? Who? Me? No. Personally? I prefer no. But it's like, well, different people are different. Different people kind of prefer different things. And that's on them. But Bobby prefers to be real with what's going on, not lying to himself. I don't like that. So it's like, well, hey, what are you gonna do? The best you can do is just try. That's the best you can do. Beyond that, it's not that it's out of your control, but the best you can do, like I said, is just try. And if trying that day was the best, then apparently I'm not able to say success. Then that was a success for that day. And even so, if you survived that day and then you maybe fall asleep zoning out on some video or something, then you're still here. And that's what's important. you're still here. Because unfortunately, I understand firsthand what it's like to not want to be here. Sadly. And I mean that very, very literally. Very literally. So, honestly, I like to be real. Genuine, real. I just prefer it. It's easier. I mean, joking around some, it's fine. But communicating, it's much better to be real than not being real with yourself about things. You know, it's just easier. So, I don't know. Different people have their different opinions, though. So, you know, you can't agree with everybody, right?